I was listening to the speech that is made by the United States president, the new current president of the United States, Donald Trump, and of course all the policy changes. That this is American first policy. In that Trump is putting America first, and I say this is kind of interesting, depending on how you are looking at it. And for somebody who is of African descent and who is from Africa, I think this should really be very clear to many of the African political leaders that if you are in Ghana, you need to understand that it should be Ghana first. It doesn't have to be any other country. It must be all the policy that you are going to make must be for the interest of the Ghanaian people. If you are a Kenyan president or a Kenyan political leader, you must know that all the dealing that you are going into, whether you are going to deal with the Holland or going to deal with the Belgians or going to deal with the UK people or the Chinese or the American, it must put the Kenyan people first. This is a new era where people are beginning to wake up to the challenge, particularly here in this part of the world, in Africa, that we used to have this myopic idea that somebody is coming to save us. No, it's never going to happen. Even in a million years, nobody is coming to save you. Donald Trump is helping you to understand that you need to wake up to your challenge. If your country is a shambles, it is your responsibility to fix it. And guess what? If you don't fix it, and that leakage continue to become a detriment to you as a people, many countries are coming to take advantage of that, like vultures. They are going to feed on your carcass. So the idea of the American first should not be really very challenging for us as a people or for other political leaders. It must be that every political arithmetic must be for the interest of the people first. Of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that because it is you first, meaning that you need to be always at a loggerhead with other people. It simply means that when you are at the round table, for example, maybe there are some Chinese diplomats who are coming to Abuja, for example, try to sign a deal or propose a deal to the government of Nigeria. It simply means that these Chinese diplomats are there for the interest of the Chinese people only. For the interest of the Chinese people only. If the politicians in Abuja are not smart enough to understand that the Chinese will never do anything for you, that they will never highlight what is your interest. It is not their responsibility to tell you that this is what it will benefit you. They were at luck. So the American first policy should mean that when you are dealing with these Chinese in Abuja, in the case of Nigeria, it is on the Nigerian government or the Nigerian policy maker to decide that as far as we are concerned, we are number one. If this policy doesn't put us first, we are not going to sign. It must respect us. It must respect our nature. It must respect our philosophy of life. It must respect our survival and our place in the world. So you are number one in your area, but we are also number one in our area. So we must look for a way to work in the sense that you understand that my interests also count. It is not your responsibility to come and tell me what I'm going to benefit from this policy. It is my responsibility to highlight that, to let you know that in this agreement that we are going to sign, you need to respect whom I am. You don't defend me, I defend myself. It is not you to decide how it's going to benefit me. I decide that based on your proposal, I will go home with my expert, we study it and say, okay, at the end of the day, we see that this is going to benefit me. If I am unable to do that, then it is my fault. It is nobody else's fault. If there is a government or a government agency, strategists, business people, whatever you want to call them, they are interested in your natural resources, you don't say, well, they will take it, they will think for us, they will help us. Nobody is coming to help you. Nobody is coming to help you. So if there is anything we are going to take away from the new administration in the United States, of the American first policy is that wherever you are in the world, you are also the number one. So when you are dealing with the America, whether it is about establishing an American military base in your country, you need to ask yourself, what is your benefit? What are you going to take from this? Are you going to give them a military base because it is American first? American first is in America for the American people. As long as it interests them, that is fine. But for you, you should also be number one. The interest of your people, your territory, where you are. So that at the end of the day, it comes to negotiation. How does it benefit you? If you are unable to realize that you are also first, wherever you are, it is your fault. Whether you are a country in Europe, a country in Asia, or a country in Africa, remember that just as Americans are number one for their interest anywhere in the world, you are also number one anywhere in the world. So you shouldn't be terrified. We shouldn't be frightening. Donald Trump is saying America first. Of course, they should be America first because he is the president of the United States of America. He takes care of the American interest. He should do that. That is what he's supposed to do. Did you vote for him? The American people vote for him. He's going to use the American dollar to take care of the American interest. He should never come to take care of your interest. That is why you also have your government. You have your politician. You have a president, a prime minister. If something is wrong in your country, hold your politicians accountable. So the American first policy of Donald Trump should speak to the African leader that it is your responsibility if you want to develop your country. If you want to live in shambles, that is up to you. It is not the responsibility of American people. America is not the police of the world. America is for the American people. Their military, their technology, their commerce, everything about the American is for the American people, and it is right. If you want to develop your country, use all the resources that you have. If you are an Italian government, make sure that the resources in Italy is for the Italian people. Italy number one. So this is a new way of understanding what have actually been the reality for many, many times. Only that in Africa, for many political class in Africa, we sort of believe that somebody is coming to help us. It is a lie. Nobody is coming to help us. Nobody is coming to help us. We're going to have to look for a way to develop our military, to develop our commerce, our strategy, our business, our local resources, our human resources, our natural resources. If we refuse to develop it, we will remain in poverty. Nobody is coming. If you see the European Union, for example, are sending millions and billions of euros to you, remember, it is Europe first. Europe will never develop Africa. Never. It doesn't exist in their dictionary. And they don't have to do that. It is up to you as a leader. That is why you exist. So that when you are the leader of Nigeria, for example, Ahmed Tinubu will say Nigeria number one. Nigeria first. If we are dealing with the English, we must be bold enough to stand before the English government and tell them, we are Nigeria. Our interest is number one. Whatever you are deciding in London, if you don't respect the life and the legacy of the people of Nigeria, we are not going to sign. That is an independent country. If we are not able to do that, and anytime we are unable to do that, it means we don't even have a country. Every man speaks for their interests. I repeat, it doesn't mean because you are speaking for your interests, it means you are at war with other people. You can always negotiate, but negotiate on the basis of your interest. Negotiate on the basis of what are you going to get out of this? Because nobody is coming to save us. Nobody is coming. So American first, but let it also be Nigerian first, South African first, Congo first, Kenya first, Ghana first. Each of us is first. And let us make sure we defend our number one in the world. Thank you for listening.